Hey, this is John from Lamb of God, and you're watching PitCam.
Hi, I'm Lona from PitCam, and we're sitting here today with John from Lamb of God.
How you doing?
So the first question, we'll start off with a fan question. Have you guys ever had time to look at Berlin? What's your favorite thing about Germany, and do you know any German words?
I got to stay here for a couple days one time after a tour. I came and stayed with a friend of mine who lived here. We were only here for 2 days. She lived in Kreuzberg. We went downtown shopping one day and went out drinking a couple nights, and that's really all I remember that. What do we like about Germany? The food generally is better here than in other parts of Europe, believe it or not. And do I know any German? I know terrible German. Very few words. Well, Schatzi, how's that? That's it. It's Schatzi and maybe Scheisse, I don't know.
Okay, and you guys have 6 studio albums. Which album would you say you're the most satisfied with, and why?
I think Wrath. I think every record we learned from our mistakes and did better. And I think we have continued over the years to put out a better record every time.
So you think you've just been improving, like going up? And...
Absolutely, yeah.
So before having the name Lamb of God, the band was called Burn the Priest. And it was just an instrumental band. Why and when were the vocals added? Like, who came up with the idea to add the vocals?
Well, Chris, long story, maybe even too long. It was me, Chris, Mark, and this guy Matt, 2 guitars, and Mark moved to Chicago, and Matt went on to do other stuff, so we brought this guy Abe in, and we were a 3-piece, and we felt like after playing a few shows like that, it's like, man, we need another guitar or a singer or something. We needed something else in here, and it just so happened that Randy happened to be around at the time.
And the name Burn the Priest, when you guys had the name, you couldn't play at some venues because of the name?
Well, no, that's actually not true, because when we were Burn the Priest, we were never in a position to be able to play any kind of venues besides, you know, shitholes anyway. But now, the Forum in LA, because we used to be called Burn the Priest, think that that we're not the type of people that want playing in their venues. So.
But why did you change the name to Lamb of God? Because I read somewhere that Lamb of God had something to do with the Bible, like the name. So like you guys had the name Burn the Priest, and then all of a sudden this name that...
Yeah, I wasn't even raised religious, and know that Lamb of God, they're talking about Jesus. Basically, from some perspectives, people may think that we are calling ourselves their prophet, which could be very offensive to some people. But it's really, Black Sabbath did all the religious imagery in heavy metal originally, and I'm blaming them.
There are many people that put you guys in a certain music direction. What would you call it, and do you think it's important for people to even put you in a certain direction? Like, do you want them to...
To push us in a direction as far as what we're going to play, or how they define who we are?
Both, kind of.
Well, we definitely are not listening to them as far as what we should be playing. I think we're just really lucky that what we like, people seem to like. And I think that people would use these categories as a way to describe music without listening to the music. It's for people who aren't playing the music, I guess, to try and better understand what it is when they talk about it outside of listening to it or seeing it.
So it doesn't matter for you? I mean, not matter, but it's...
Well, I mean, it seems like these labels change all the time. So it's you know, I'm not keeping up on the current trends of what genre we fit into now.
Do you think the European scene is different from the American one?
Well, I think there's a commonality among metalheads. It's true across the board, but yeah, there's a slight differences, sure.
Are we more crazier, or?
No, metalheads are pretty crazy. Probably the Japanese metalheads will go crazy, but when you're not playing, then they're like, calm down. The whole crowd is very sedated in between songs. Yeah, no, everyone's pretty crazy.
When you get back home, how much time do you have before you go back on tour, and what's the first thing you do when you get home?
First thing I do is kiss my wife and my baby, and we're home for 2 weeks in between tours.
Only 2 weeks?
Yeah.
If your manager was to organize a tour for you but not tell you who you're going to play with, who would you tell your manager to just absolutely not pick?
Absolutely not pick?
Yeah.
That's a good question. Fuck. I don't know if there's anybody that I would say I don't want to play with. We play with tons of different personalities and bands, and yeah, there's nobody I would say absolutely not. Fuck those guys. Yeah.
Get along with everybody.
Wow, you know, some people get along with better than others.